Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing and fashion videos. And today we are going to be stressed. Today it is Monday, May 10th, and tomorrow on Tuesday, May 11th, we are taking graduation photos. So it's time to make a graduation dress in one day, and it's already 10:30 a.m. and we're gonna have to get on the move. I'm also graduating this Friday, so I need the dress for that, but I definitely need it for tomorrow. So since we only have one day, we are going to work with kind of what we have, and we're gonna try to make it easy and doable. And I'm going to take you guys along for the entire ride. So I already had this white satin fabric from Joann Fabrics. It has a good amount of stretch to it, and it's pretty thick, so it's not see-through, and it's not gonna do that weird like puckering that other cheap satin does. So this was really affordable, and I already had it. However, I only have like half a yard of it, which is not enough to make an entire dress. So I went and I picked up some more fabric from Joann's. I could have just got like another yard, but then I was like, wait, is the fabric I have white or is that ivory? I'm not really sure. So let me just get 2 yards of this. So now that this doesn't really matter because I got 2 whole yards of the fabric again. I tried to save money. Anyways, so here are the 2 yards I got of the white satin. It is the same. Could have got a yard, but oh well. Did they not give me the needles? I bought needles for $8. Oh no. I also already had lining. It's just white lining and it has stretch to it, just like this has stretch to it. So, I found the needles. And so because we picked our fabric first, I have to use that as a jumping off point for my design ideas. So let me move over to the side and I'll show you guys what I was sketching. So the first dress that I came up with was this more classic A-line dress, square neck, cap sleeve. It would be super fitted, which I think would look amazing, but because of that, it would be a lot of work. And I know it looks like a simple dress, but to make something like that that's also satin, fit you perfectly, whew, it would be a little bit of work. So I don't know if it would be ideal to make in a day. The second dress that I came up with is this fit and flare dress. It has kind of this band around the top just for a little added detail and spaghetti strap. And because it's a fit and flare, the skirt, super easy, like wham bam, we're done with that. So I wasn't completely sure which I wanted to create, so I asked you guys on Instagram. Let me pull it up. Yeah, so I posted this. I said, which one should I make? 46% said the classic, 54% said the modern, more fit and flare one. You guys were kind of split on this, but since we did get more votes for the fit and flare, we were going to make the fit and flare. And thank goodness, because that one is a lot easier and we don't have a lot of time. So it is 10:30 now. I should start making it now, but I need to take a couple grad headshots with my graduation outfit on to send in for graduation. And I also need to get breakfast. So let me do that. We'll come back in a little bit and we will start making the dress. Okay, so we are going to drape the top of this dress because that's what I'm comfortable with and I know I can get it done quickly. So I am taking some fabric and I am placing it on my dress form. As you can see, I already marked out where I wanted my style lines to be, and I'm going to do princess seams. And princess seams just mean that I have seams down that like apex center of the bust and also in the back. So that's what I'm doing for the bodice. I'm just placing my muslin on my form, I'm smoothing it out, I'm pinning it down, and then I'm marking over the style lines with a pen. And that's what I'm doing for the whole bodice. So the center front, the side back, and the center back. But before we move on, I do want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys do not know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. You can explore new skills on Skillshare, deepen your existing passions, like sewing and fashion, and get lost in creativity. I know that you guys would be really interested in some of the classes they offer on fashion design, pattern making, sewing techniques, draping, and fashion illustration, because they got all of those, and I myself have personally been browsing those topics. But a class that I've specifically really been getting into lately is called Designing Repeat Patterns From Icons to Apparel and Beyond by Kimmy Lewis. Basically, the class is centered all around like textile repeat designs so that you could then take that textile design and then print it on something like fabric and then make it into a dress, which I think would be a really cool video, by the way. And I actually knew how to do that before from college, but I have completely forgotten how to do that. So this class has honestly been a lifesaver. It's been really interesting relearning everything. I'm definitely planning on making a repeat pattern to make into a fabric and then a dress soon. And also through this class, I've learned a lot of Adobe Illustrator tips and tricks, which is cool. Also, Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads whatsoever. And they're always launching new premium classes so that you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And I do have something cool for you guys. So the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so that you can explore your creativity, which I think is pretty cool. So thank you Skillshare so much for sponsoring this video. Definitely go check them out. Links in the description. And now back to the video. Okay, so here are my pattern pieces. Again, I'm just using the muslin as my pattern pieces because we don't have time to transfer it over digitally or on cardstock or all of that. So this is what I'm using. You can see where I made all of the changes. I took a little bit more in from the side than the dress form needed because I know that I'm smaller here. I also flattened the slope of the bust because again, I'm smaller there. And I just made a few changes, X'd out the old lines and updated the pattern pieces. So as you can see here, I also went through and I measured like the waist and I measured over the bust to see what the circumference of it was on the pattern pieces versus myself. And I just made adjustments accordingly to make sure that it would match up perfectly. Now what I want to do though is pattern that band that I'm going to put over the top. So to do that, I'm gonna just kind of freestyle here because I don't got time to pattern it any other way. So I'm just lining these pieces up. Let me pin this one together. So I'm just pinning all of those bodice pieces together, at least along the top area, so I could figure out where I want the band to be. And then I'm marking, I think that's like 2.5 inches down. It looks like 2 3/4 inches from the top because that's how wide I want my band to be. So I'm just making a little template so that I can go ahead and then trace out that pattern piece. Okay, party people, so at this point I have my pattern pieces, I ironed some fabric, I have my lining over here, and they are ready to be cut. But before I do that, I just want to go through the construction assembly process in my head to make sure that it's gonna work and that I don't need to add any like additional seam allowance anywhere. So I'm gonna really quickly do that with you guys so you can see how my brain works, I suppose. Okay, so first step, we are going to start with the bodice AV because I haven't even patterned the skirt yet, so I can't be constructing that yet. So I'm gonna have all my panels. So the first thing I'm gonna do is sew panels. You know what I'm saying? All like the vertical seams on the bodice. Sew panels, and I wanna do that to the shell, and I also wanna do that to the lining. The second, I want to sew the neckline band at the back seam and also the bottom seam so that it can be ready to be inserted into the neckline of this dress. So I'm trying to imagine in my head the piece is sewn, what steps I would need to take next. Then I believe, oh my gosh, I forgot, we haven't even made spaghetti straps. I'm gonna need to make spaghetti straps probably, so yeah, and this way I'll be able to put this on my body and then measure how long I want my straps. So I'll construct the straps and then it will be time to sew the neckline. So when I sew the neckline, I'm probably going to insert this between the lining and the shell of the bodice. And also I'm gonna insert the spaghetti straps in there. So, and then that's basically done up there. Then I would wanna sew the skirt together. And when I say sew the skirt, I mean like at the side seams. Then I'd want to attach the skirt and the bodice at the waist. Then I would put in the zipper at the center back seam. Then I would hem my dress. And then I probably might want to put a hook and eye closure at the top of the zipper. And so here are my assembly instructions. Honestly, I don't usually write them out. I used to, but as you sew things all the freaking time, you kind of know what order. You don't have to really think about it, but I just wanted to show you guys how I did that in case you kind of struggle with figuring out your order of operations, construction, assembly operations. So, okay, so now we have our assembly instructions. So now I'm going to cut out all of my pieces. And here it is. Woo! So I have the satin right there and up there, and then the lining here. So like I said before, I'm gonna sew all these vertical seam lines up using my sewing machine, and then I'm going to serge the edges, and then I'm gonna come back. So here we go again. Okay, so do you notice anything different? My center back seam before, I had cut it on the fold, which like, girl, why? We're putting the zipper in the back. It's okay, I had a brain fart. We fixed it. I had to recut the center back, not on the fold. So there it is. So I have my shell, my lining, and then I also have my like neck band with the shell fabric and the lining fabric used to create it. And then I have two spaghetti straps that are like 18 inches long, which is way too long, but I wanted to do it longer so that I could always cut it down later on. So I'm gonna sandwich the neckband in between the bodice shell and lining, and I'm gonna sew up the neckline, making sure to also include the spaghetti straps in there. Okay, sorry for the smudgy mirror and such, but here is the top so far. Cody pinned it on me. He only pinned it with like 1/4 inch seam allowance, so we have like a 1/2 inch more that would be taken out of the top, which is perfect because it's looking like it could be like just a 1/2 inch tighter up here. So this top is fitting great. I love how this looks. The only thing is, of course, as you can see, the straps are falling off. So I measured and I need to take out about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches out of the straps. So I'm just gonna seam rip here and then fix up the straps. Yep, guess who's in their car because they gotta go get a zipper because they forgot to buy one again. It's me. So your girl had to go and get a zipper from Joann Fabrics, but it's okay because we secured the bag, no worries. So after that, I was basically done with the bodice and I was ready to start with the skirt. I wanted to make sure that my skirt matched up with the side seams at the bodice, so I measured how wide the front of the bodice was and how wide the back was so that I could make a pattern for the skirt because I want my skirt at the waistline to match up with the bodice perfectly. And so the pattern for this skirt is literally just a circle skirt, nothing fancy. It is a plain circle skirt. So at this point, I just sewed the skirt at the side seams, attached it to the bodice, and then installed my invisible zipper. Okay, so it's the next day. I have my dress, and I felt like it was kind of bordering on like homecoming cheap dress. I feel like if I didn't finish this dress a certain way, it could go very like cheap homecoming, but if I like made it look really nice, it could be elegant. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like styling and like finishing can either make or break this dress because it is like a white satin short dress. So I went ahead and went back to Joann Fabric this morning and I got some horsehair braid because the hem, obviously it's a circle skirt like I said, it just kind of falls as a skirt does, and I felt like having this horsehair braid would just elevate it. The horsehair braid makes the skirt like stand out more, adds fullness, adds body, and I just feel like that's what this dress needed to keep it from looking very blah. So I am going to trim the hem actually a couple inches because it's a little too long right now. It's looking a little too matronly. So I'm going to trim it a couple inches and then attach this horsehair braid. So I just sewed the horsehair braid on the right side of the skirt with like a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I flipped it to the inside and then I'm pinning it down and then I'm just going to top stitch it down. Okay, so first of all, the horsehair, really great decision. You know, you're supposed to hand stitch it down, but I just top stitched it because we're taking grad photos in a couple hours and there is no time for that. Also, I didn't care enough to do it properly. So I just top stitched it and it is fine. Like, it's fine. We're not couture here. Yeah, so this looks really good. It makes it look like a cupcake dress, which I'm freaking in love with. Then over here, as you can see, it's like bunched up on more the lining than the outside. It's because I put some elastic on the seam allowance and attached it to the lining. I want to take out this elastic and put in a longer elastic so it doesn't bunch quite as much. And I want to put it just on the whole neckline on the front instead of just in between here, just because it feels a little bit loose up there and I want a little bit more security. So I'm going to redo that. Also, I need to redo my nails because this is not very grad photo-y nails. But I'm sad because I only did this a couple days ago. Oh well. So now I'm just gonna add some finishing touches. So where that neckline band is at the center back, I'm going to just tack that down right there at the corner so it doesn't kind of like pull away and fly up. Okay, now we're here on location taking grad photos. I am done with my dress. Do you want to see it? I can get Cody or Kaz, they're over there, to film me wearing the dress, but I'm in cap and gown. Well, I guess not cap. I'm in gown, stole, shoes, pearls, all of that jazz. But let me show you how this dress looks. Okay, so here's the dress. So I'll take off my gown and I'll lay it over here, I guess. I feel like very 2021 Marilyn Monroe. Like I'm feeling like classic, modern, both, all of the above. I'm really glad that I put the horsehair in because otherwise it would be like super squished. But now it like has some body and some movement to it. And look. Ooh, it twirls! Should I give him a fit check? Fit check, full outfit, full fit, looking cute with the shoes. I brought red heels though to match to wear my cap so I can have like red on top, red on the bottom. But yeah. Okay guys, so we are still taking graduation photos, so hopefully you enjoyed watching me procrastinate, I guess, again and make this dress. I really like it. Let me know if you want a pattern of it actually, because this was super fun to make and I can go back, make some prototypes, perfect the pattern, and then do a real tutorial for it. So let me know if that's something that you are interested in. For those of you who are graduating this year from fashion school, let me know down below. Tell me where you're graduating from so I can know who my followers are. Also, let me know what your plans are for after graduation. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. It's the easiest way to support your favorite creators for free. And if you are not already, definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My handle is Kiana Bonolo. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye!